Who are these economists that can look the American people in the eye and tell us that we're not in a silent depression? 100 million Americans have been closed out of buying a house because they need $120,000 of income with no credit cards, no car payment, and no student loans. Then you have rent prices. Well, at least those are steady. No, they're not. Every single 12 months, they're raising the rent $200. They're raising the rent $300. They're raising the rent $200. Where does this go in 5 years for the economists? Where does this go in 5 years when 100 million Americans cannot buy a home and get a fixed rate and their rent's being raised $200 every year? Where are we in 5 years? If you can answer that question, that would be amazing. But don't insult us and say we're not in a silent depression. College has never been more expensive, and the pay of a college graduate hasn't ever been lower. It has not kept up. The housing and rent, people renting are spending 40% of their income. That's unheard of. And then, because the cost of living is so expensive, you have both parents who have to work. So what happens to the children? They go to daycare. And what happens when you have more demand than supply? The prices go up. And that's why parents are spending $2,500 on top of their student loans, on top of their $2,500 rent, and they need $100,000 just to pay the bills without savings and out investing. So tell me how the GDP and stock market for 150 million Americans is the gauge on our health. Tell me how we're not in a silent depression.